On the Monday morning, 3 days later, they arrested the nurse. Do you know what? They only looked at the nurses, the patient's notes that this nurse had looked after. They didn't look at anyone else's notes. And they disregarded any unusual activity where this nurse was not on duty. And this happened in the Dutch nurse case, De Burg, where later, on a closer analysis, they found other patients when she was on holiday that had become sick. Now, I know you know about clusters, and that things do happen that are unusual, that you might get a whole series of deaths on a particular ward. I've worked in A&E, I've worked in the operating theatre for over 14 years. I've worked with doctors and anaesthetists and consultant surgeons who, you raise an eyebrow at their conduct, and you've got to keep an eye on them because they're not great. I've found doctors in toilets with their arms full of fentanyl that are asleep in a toilet during an operation, an anaesthetist. I've seen all this happen. And the fact is that there are problems in our National Health Service. There are things that go wrong, both with doctors and medical staff. But what we've got to be clear is, in this case, with a failure of having direct evidence, with a failure of having statistical evidence, we've got a real concern.
The thing that gives me doubts about Lucy's conviction is the managers bought themselves 2 years before Lucy was arrested. And knowing how the evil Blue World border system works, time is what they use to cover any tracks of wrongdoing. Those 2 years ring alarm bells.